As the NBA draft concludes and free agency looms, the Detroit Pistons have filled the last open seat in the NBA coaching carousel. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reported on Sunday that the Pistons are hiring GB Bickerstaff, who previously spent 5 seasons as the head coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers. This announcement comes after a whirlwind few weeks of coaching changes across the league. Recently, the Los Angeles Lakers appointed J.J. Redick as their new head coach after UConn's Dan Hurley declined the position. The Cavaliers replaced Bickerstaff with Kenny Atkinson. On May 29th, the Washington Wizards promoted Brian Keefe from interim to permanent head coach. Meanwhile, Mike Budenholzer took over the Phoenix Suns after the franchise parted ways with Frank Vogel. The Brooklyn Nets brought in Jordi Fernandez, a former Sacramento Kings assistant and current Canadian national team coach, and the Charlotte Hornets secured Boston Celtics assistant Charles Lee on a 4-year deal. Detroit Pistons. 2023-24 record. 14-68 15th in the East. Previous coach Monty Williams fired after 1 season. Lead executive Trajan Langdon hired May 31st. Franchise status. The Pistons have struggled mightily, winning just 74 games over the past 4 seasons and enduring an 11-season playoff drought since their 2008 Eastern Conference Finals appearance. They have cycled through 8 head coaches during this period, including Monty Williams, who was given a lucrative contract last year, but led the team to the league's worst record. Owner Tom Gores decided to move on from Williams and general manager Troy Weaver, seeking stability and alignment for the franchise's future. Agreed to a 5-year deal with the Pistons. During his tenure with the Cavaliers, Bickerstaff led the team to 2 consecutive postseason appearances, including an Eastern Conference semifinal run last season. Cleveland Cavaliers. 2023-24 record. 48-30 for 4th in the East. Eliminated in conference semifinals. Previous coach GB Bickerstaff fired after 4 seasons. Lead executive Kobe Altman hired in 2017. Franchise status. The Cavaliers have seen success under Bickerstaff, achieving 3 straight winning seasons and making the playoffs twice. However, following a first-round loss to the New York Knicks and a subsequent exit in the Eastern Conference semifinals, Bickerstaff was let go. The team remains well-positioned for the future with key players like Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Jarrett Allen, and Donovan Mitchell. The biggest question mark is whether Mitchell will sign a contract extension this summer. New coach Kenny Atkinson, former head coach of the Brooklyn Nets and lead assistant with the Golden State Warriors, will take over in Cleveland. Atkinson is known for developing young talent, including current Cavaliers players Karis LeVert and Allen. Los Angeles Lakers. 2023-24 record. 47-35 7th in the West. Eliminated in the first round of the playoffs. New coach J.J. Redick. Previous coach Darvin Ham fired after 2 seasons. Lead executive Rob Pelinka hired in 2017. Franchise status. The Lakers have been through 6 head coaches since Phil Jackson retired in 2011, none lasting more than 3 seasons. Under Ham, the team reached the 2023 Western Conference Finals but were eliminated in the first round this past season. The next coach will inherit a roster featuring LeBron James and Anthony Davis, with the potential for adding a 3rd star this summer. New coach J.J. Redick agreed to a 4-year deal to coach the Lakers. Pelinka was impressed with Redick's ability to connect with players and his basketball IQ, which he demonstrated through a podcast with LeBron James. Washington Wizards. 2023-24 record. 15-67 14th in East. New coach Brian Keefe. Previous coach Wes Unseld JRB. Heath named interim coach in January, lead executive. Michael Winger hired in 2023. Franchise status. The Wizards, led by Winger and GM Will Dawkins, are following a patient rebuild strategy similar to that of the Oklahoma City Thunder. With a lack of star power in the current roster and the draft, the focus will be on player development. New coach, Brian Keefe, who served as an assistant in various NBA teams, including the Thunder and Nets, was promoted to head coach after finishing the season as interim coach. Phoenix Suns, 2023-24 record, 49-33 sixth in the West. Eliminated in the first round of the playoffs. New coach, Mike Budenholzer, former Hawks, Bucks head coach, previous coach, Frank Vogel, fired after one season, lead executive. James Jones, hired in 2018. Franchise status. Under owner Matt Ishbia, the Suns made significant trades for Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal, but moved on from coaches Monty Williams and Frank Vogel. Ishbia believes the team has championship potential with a core of Devin Booker, Durant, and Beal despite facing salary cap challenges. New coach Mike Budenholzer, who led the Bucks to the 2021 NBA championship, will take over as the Suns' head coach. So now we have the Charlotte Hornets, 2023-24 record, 21-61, 13th in East. New coach, Charles Lee, former Celtics assistant, previous coach. Steve Clifford stepped down after the season, lead executive. Jeff Peterson hired in March, replacing Mitch Kupchak. Franchise status. With new ownership led by Rick Schnall and Gabe Plotkin, the Hornets are focusing on building around young talents like LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller. The team has struggled historically, making the playoffs only 3 times since 2004-05. New coach, Charles Lee, who has worked with successful teams like the Celtics and Bucks, will bring his experience and leadership to Charlotte. Brooklyn Nets, 2023-24 record, 32-50 11th in East. New coach, Jordi Fernandez, former Kings assistant, previous coach. Kevin Ollie interim, replaced Jake Vaughn in February, lead executive. Sean Marks hired in 2016. Franchise status. The Nets are in a prime market with a strong ownership and infrastructure. They have valuable draft picks and some current talent, including Mikal Bridges. However, the team struggled this past season, leading to a need for a fresh start. New coach, Jordi Fernandez, known for his work with the Kings and Canadian national team, will lead the Nets as they decide between rebuilding or pursuing veteran talent to improve the roster. Enjoying the updates? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below with your thoughts on these coaching changes. Your support helps us bring you the latest and greatest in NBA news.